Ever wondered how a group of drugs can change the course of medical treatments? Welcome to the fascinating world of selective androgen receptor modulators, or SARMs for short. These aren't your everyday drugs. They bind to androgen receptors selectively, sparking anabolic cellular activity while sidestepping many side effects typically associated with anabolic steroids. Their potential applications are as diverse as they are remarkable. For instance, SARMs are being researched as a potential treatment for conditions like breast cancer, cachexia, benign prostatic hyperplasia, and hypogonadism. Imagine a single group of drugs capable of combating a myriad of health conditions while minimizing unwanted side effects. That's the promise of SARMs. The science behind these drugs is as fascinating as their potential applications. They represent a new frontier in medical treatments, one that could change the game for patients around the world. But to truly appreciate their potential, we must first understand what SARMs are and how they work. Now let's delve deeper into what SARMs are and how they work. So, what exactly are these SARMs we're talking about? Well, the term SARMs is an acronym standing for Selective Androgen Receptor Modulators. Quite a mouthful, right? But don't worry, we'll break it down. The selective in SARMs is key to understanding their function. Unlike traditional anabolic steroids, SARMs are designed to target specific androgen receptors in our bodies, hence the term selective. Androgen receptors, for those who may not know, are proteins within our bodies that respond to androgens, male hormones like testosterone. These receptors play a crucial role in developing male traits, but they're not just for the guys. Androgen receptors are found in both men and women and contribute to bone health, muscle mass, and overall body composition. Now here's where SARMs come into the picture. These drugs bind to the androgen receptors in a selective manner. What does this mean? Well, think of it like a lock and key mechanism. The SARMs, or the keys, fit perfectly into the locks of specific androgen receptors. This binding triggers anabolic cellular activity, the process that helps us build muscle. But the real beauty of SARMs lies in their selectivity. They're designed to target only certain androgen receptors, which means they can stimulate muscle growth without many of the side effects associated with traditional anabolic steroids. So, in essence, they offer the potential benefits of steroids: increased muscle mass, improved bone density, and enhanced athletic performance, without the unwanted adverse effects. It's important to note, however, that while SARMs hold a lot of promise, they're still a subject of ongoing research. Scientists are continually learning more about their potential uses, benefits, and risks. Sounds interesting, right? But how do these SARMs function? Let's find out. How do SARMs work their magic in our bodies? Let's dive into the fascinating world of their mechanism of action. SARMs, or selective androgen receptor modulators, are small molecule drugs that bind to androgen receptors in a selective manner. But what does this mean, and how does it differ from the actions of testosterone and synthetic steroid hormones? Well, our bodies are a complex network of receptors and signaling pathways, and androgen receptors play a crucial role in various physiological processes. Testosterone and synthetic steroid hormones also bind to these receptors, but they do so in a less selective manner, often leading to a range of side effects. Now this is where SARMs step up the game. They bind to the same androgen receptors but in a more targeted manner. Picture it like a lock and key scenario, where the androgen receptors are the locks and SARMs are specially designed keys that open specific doors, or in this case initiate specific cellular activities. But here's the real kicker. SARMs can exert varying degrees of agonist and antagonist effects on the androgen receptor in different tissues. This means they can act both as accelerators and brakes depending on the tissue type. Imagine being able to accelerate muscle growth while putting the brakes on prostate enlargement. That's the potential we're looking at with SARMs. This selective action helps to generate the desired anabolic effects, such as muscle growth and bone density increase, while avoiding many of the side effects associated with traditional anabolic steroids. It's like getting the benefits without the baggage. In contrast, testosterone and synthetic steroid hormones, while effective, often come with a host of potential side effects due to their less selective action. They're like a sledgehammer approach, effective but not without collateral damage. The tissue specificity of SARMs is a key characteristic underlying their therapeutic potential. By understanding and harnessing this specificity, we can potentially develop treatments for a range of conditions, from muscle-wasting diseases to certain types of cancer. Now that we understand how SARMs work, what are their potential applications? Well, buckle up as we explore this in our next segment. The world of SARMs is wide and full of potential, and we're just starting to scratch the surface. The potential applications of SARMs seem limitless. Let's explore some of these possibilities. SARMs, or Selective Androgen Receptor Modulators, are showing huge promise in a variety of medical conditions. They're not just about muscle building and fat loss, though those are certainly compelling applications, but let's delve deeper into some of the other potential uses of these fascinating molecules. Take muscle pathology, for instance. SARMs are being examined for their potential to treat conditions like muscular dystrophy and sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle loss. By selectively targeting androgen receptors in muscle tissue, SARMs could potentially help to preserve muscle mass and strength in patients with these conditions. Then there's Alzheimer's disease, a devastating illness that affects millions of people worldwide. Interestingly, research suggests that there may be a link between low testosterone levels and Alzheimer's. SARMs, with their ability to selectively bind to androgen receptors in the brain, could potentially offer a new avenue of treatment for this debilitating disease. Another key area of interest is in the treatment of prostate issues. SARMs are being investigated for their potential to treat conditions like benign prostatic hyperplasia, a common condition in older men that can cause uncomfortable urinary symptoms. Early research suggests that SARMs could potentially help to reduce prostate size without the side effects commonly associated with other treatments. Osteoporosis, a condition that leads to weak and brittle bones, is another area where SARMs could potentially make a difference. By selectively targeting androgen receptors in bone tissue, SARMs could potentially help to increase bone density and strength. And let's not forget about cancer. Preliminary studies suggest that SARMs could potentially be used to treat cachexia, a severe muscle-wasting condition often seen in cancer patients. There's also ongoing research into the potential use of SARMs in the treatment of breast and prostate cancer. The research into SARMs is ongoing, with clinical trials investigating their use in a range of different medical conditions. It's an exciting time, and the promise of SARMs seems to be growing every day. While the potential seems vast, what have we learned so far about SARMs? Let's recap what we've learned about SARMs. These unique compounds, known as selective androgen receptor modulators, have the potential to revolutionize the world of medical treatments. They bind to androgen receptors in a selective manner, which results in anabolic cellular activity while sidestepping many of the side effects associated with anabolic steroids. We've dived into the mechanisms of SARMs, understanding how these small molecule drugs can exert varying degrees of agonist and antagonist effects on the androgen receptor in different tissues. This tissue specificity is a key characteristic underlying their therapeutic potential, setting them apart from traditional testosterone and synthetic steroid hormones. Then, we explored the potential applications of SARMs, from treating conditions like breast cancer, benign prostatic hyperplasia, and hypogonadism, to being used as performance-enhancing agents. We've seen how basic research has demonstrated good availability of these compounds with few drug interactions, and how early clinical studies have shown positive results in cancer-related cachexia, hypogonadism, and breast cancer. We've also learned that the development and clinical use of selective estrogen receptor modulators like tamoxifen have provided valuable insights into the mechanisms and potential of SARMs. It's exciting to realize that over the past 2 decades, the number of bioactive SARMs under investigation has increased, along with our understanding of their mechanisms of action. So it's clear that SARMs hold significant promise in the medical field. They are versatile, efficient, and have the potential to treat a variety of conditions while minimizing side effects. But it's equally important to remember that our understanding of SARMs is still evolving. Ongoing clinical trials and research are critical to fully realize their potential and ensure their safe and effective use. With ongoing research and clinical trials, the future of SARMs in medical treatments looks promising. Stay tuned for more updates on this fascinating topic.